Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so welcome back, and we are doing another weekly reading. I want to get straight into it, but I also want to give us a little time to shuffle. I hope everybody's had a good past week. It's been interesting. Lots of revelations on my part, but it all feels so melodramatic. Um, and I think that's because I'm having a difficulty struggling to believe what I am seeing or feeling, more so. It's a struggle to believe what I'm feeling and feeling that those feelings are valid. So we'll see how that plays out in the next week. Maybe nothing will happen there. Maybe a lot will happen there. But let's get into what this reading is all about. Happy Sunday. This is going to be for the next few, 7 days, but including today, I guess we're going to do the next 8 days. Again, excuse my life. I have planes flying over me at all times. But, Spirit, please, for the span of this reading, have the planes be quieter so we can focus. So, what is the message for this week? What's going on this week? This deck is sleep. What is the message for this week, Spirit? No, I didn't mean to do that. Wait. It's casual. What is the message for this? Okay. Queen of Cups, great. What is the message for this week? This week could have a slow start or a choppy start, where you're wondering whether things are actually going to pick up or not. Not indecision, like the waiting game, similar to the Hanged Man, but also like this feeling of hanging in the balance, like you don't know whether something is going to come through or something's going to work out, is something that could happen. And so to this week and today, you might need to really be able to exercise your emotional maturity and your ability to detach from a situation and just let it go, which is very hard after you receive information or you get some type of nudge or you send in an application. It's very hard to then just be like, okay, well, I don't, whatever, it is what it is. But that's exactly what you might be being called to do, which is why the Queen of Cups is the first to come out and why we've had such a stuttered beginning, because perhaps we are meant to allow things to fall into place and not be completely in control of knowing exactly how everything is going to unfold or having things come to fruition in the fastest timeline. Things might need a little bit of time. It's okay. Persistence is key. We have the 5 of Wands. I think this week could be a balance of really not burning yourself out when it comes to investing in a project and trying to grow. Do not go away! Seriously. Yeah. In terms of investing in a project and trying to do what it takes to grow something, you could experience burnout if you're not giving yourself the space you need to recover. So this week, making sure that your cup is filled and that you're not overburdening yourself with caring too much or worrying too much about something or trying to make something happen really quickly, or just there's a little bit of an obsessive energy around work and production and creation, manifestation, the realization of something, and it could be a bit much. So exercising that emotional control, which really comes through letting go of needing to control, might be relevant this week. Star. Okay. That's a nice one. Yeah, I mean, there's some lingering feelings here, and I feel like there's a lot of an attempt to capture something here. There's an attempt to capture a vision or to build upon, use the momentum of an energy, of faith, of belief, of fire to grow something. There's really strong desire coming through here. Desire for things to work, desire to make it, desire to grow, desire to create. And it's all being held in the balance with letting go, detaching. It's a really, really fine balance between caring a lot and doing a lot of work and trying to keep something going and push something, and detaching from it. And I think what you might grow to realize throughout this week is that, like, it's within your hands, but it's out of your hands. Like, you are just the vessel, especially at this point, if you've already planted the seeds. As much as it's up to you to make sure you're watering and making sure that the plants are getting the sunlight, it's also up to the soil. It's also up to the sun and whether she's going to shine on your plants. It's up to the plants and whether the seeds are actually going to grow and open up and transform. It goes beyond you. And I think that there is that part that needs to be assessed and understood, and be able to let go, of thinking that you are completely in control of how this unfolds and when this can unfold, and that if you just do this much more work, if you just stay committed to it and, dream about it this much and set this many intentions, it'll happen. At a certain point, you just have to let the work begin, or let something come to you. This might be a week where you need to work on tapping into your ability to receive rather than going out and getting. So balancing out that masculine and feminine as well. I can feel like it drags out a bit this week. But there's a lot to learn in this period. It's annoying. It's annoying being in that space where nothing is exactly clear, or nothing has really panned out all the way yet, and so there's a lot of stress and overthinking and anxiousness and anticipation, but there's a lot of lessons to be learned through this, similar to last week. If you can just allow yourself to go through the process and the emotional whirlwind that might be involved with that, because it does feel highly emotional and like a lot of anticipation, a lot of, overthinking and passion, but you just don't want to burn yourself out. Don't burn the candle at both ends, which is possible this week. You're doing it a little too much. Okay, well, anything else, Spirit? Towards the end of the week, you could receive exactly what it is that you've been trying to get, and that could help you get exactly where you need to go next. It's like we have the Fool here, which is a new beginning, but I almost feel like it's like you just finally get what you've been searching for. You just finally receive exactly what. I think that this week is funny because it could really drag out. It could feel a lot slower and more exhausting than it actually is, probably because you're literally at the finish line. You know, when it's like the last 10 minutes of a race are like the worst 10 minutes of your life. Or the longest 10 minutes of your life. I think you're actually like past the point of like, is this going to happen? It's definitely going to happen. You're definitely going to get this. It's just a matter now of you like it's not even a matter of acceptance because it's going to happen. You know, it's just time. And it's not a lot of time because I think it's going to happen within these next 7 days, next to 7 to 8 days. But 7 to 8 days is a long time when you're, you know, antsy. So I think definitely it could happen before the end of the week, but I think definitely by the end of the week, whatever it is that you're trying to lasso, whatever dream, whatever accomplishment, whatever achievement you're trying to grab, I think you get it. I think you get it, and I think that it allows you to begin a new journey within this week. Even if it's just about signing the paperwork or just agreeing to something, I think that new beginning comes to fruition this week. You get what you've been searching for, waiting for. It's just a little bit of tension that you have to deal with as you exit, you know, the end stage of the last battle, which is, you know, lots of energies coming together. It's a lot. This is a community collaboration. You know, it's going to take a yes from several people. It's going to take communication on several ends and everybody having to come together to get this across to you for it to reach you. But it's going to reach you. I think that this is a given. It's just a matter of how patient can you be? And you don't have to, you've been patient. You don't even have to be patient for much longer. Yeah, like the work is literally coming to fruition. It's literally coming to fruition. It's just a matter of time. See, that was a good turnaround. Let's see, what time is it? Because, see, we're only 12 minutes in. I was like, I thought this was the whole reading. That felt really long for me. That whole part in the beginning of like, you know, having to be balanced and all that. It's going to feel longer than it actually is. And it actually could be like 2 days in the week that are kind of difficult or feel strenuous or feel dragged out. And the rest is actually like pretty awesome. But those 2 days seem to like really capture you. It could be today. It could be today and tomorrow. It could be today and another day. I do think today has something to do with it, for sure. But everything really is working out for the best. Okay, any other messages, Spirit, or should I go to the healing waters? We'll do 5 more. I just think that your hard work is really paying off. You just have to let it pay off. You know, it's like you have to just wait for the money to come to your account. You have to wait for the email confirmation to be sent, you know. Certain things just can't be in control of how they unfold. They're just going to unfold when they're ready. And it's beyond you. Yeah, look at that. The World card at the back of the deck. Things are absolutely coming to a head. Like everything is culminating into success. Hard-earned success. Okay, let's pull an oracle card, which we didn't do last week, even though I said I would. It's okay if it's hard to feel the joy and the excitement. It's okay. You're dealing with lots of energy here that's complicated and loud and compared to everything else. It does tend to put a little bit of a damper on things, but you're in a much better position than I think you can realize. But you've got to, it's not just up to you. You've got to wait for other people to show up and do their thing too. And you've just got to wait for timing as well. But I think within this week, you're going to get what you're searching for. The Healing Oracles deck we got was Cleansing. Releasing the old, energetic tune-up, and new beginnings. Releasing the old, energetic tune-ups, and new beginnings. I think somebody's face is becoming very clear to you. Who somebody is to you, who it is getting clear. I think you could be getting a very clear vision on somebody today, on yourself, but I think on somebody else as well. Like where there's been a fog, it's moving. And I think that this week, with this releasing of the old and the energetic tune-up, it's like an upgrade. And either it's in your psychic vision or like in real life, though, I feel like something is becoming a lot more clear. The vision is becoming crisp. You can actually identify somebody, or you can identify an opportunity. You can name it. You can name this person, and you can say who they are to you. And that's because of all this energy that is moving through you right now. Very emotional week, very psychically active week, perhaps as well, which includes the stress too. Selkie, come out of hiding, embrace who you really are. We're breaking free, soaring, flying, then on the sun, heaven we can reach if we're trying. Selkie, there's that story, about that animal. Hold on. Beneath the surface, what's really driving you? True motives, breaking free. Selkie. I want to look into Selkie. Let's just read that one. Selkie, come out of hiding, embrace who you really are. There are many thoughts about what the ancient story of the sea people, or Selkies, signifies. But for me, it's about the masks we wear, things being taken from us, how we hide parts of ourselves, the longing for home, the call to be wild and free, embracing our true self, answering the call deep within, and sharing our true voice. In Celtic, Scandinavian, and Icelandic mythology, there are different versions of the story. But here's one example. Yeah. A man finds a selkie, a seal. Sorry, hold on. A man finds a selkie, a seal, woman, on the beach, steals her skin, without which she cannot return to the sea, hides it, and convinces her to become his wife. The selkie woman feels the ocean calling to her deep within and yearns for it daily. The couple lead a normal life, a normal human life, and have children, but eventually the selkie finds her hidden skin and returns to her home in the sea. It's time to come out of hiding, to show the world who you truly are, to embrace your uniqueness, your weirdness, and your you-ness, to swim freely in the ocean of your life. How are you being called to embrace who you truly are? Are there ways that you're hiding your unique light from the world? How can you embrace even more of who you truly are? Are there ways that you're not showing up as your full true self in your life or your relationships? How are you being called to share your voice? Where do you feel held captive? What do you need to do to feel free? How can you embrace who you truly are? Is the soul inquiry. There's a lot of clarity coming through here around vision, around identity, also around where have you put in so much work and not seen it pay off? And if you continue to invest in those kinds of spaces, what does that say about you? What does that say about you and how you value your life and how you value your time? You know, if you know something is true but you continue to deny it, what does that say about you and your trust of self and what you think you deserve? You know, what is really meaningful to you? What truly drives you? That Selkie story is also a story about consent. It's a story about being a survivor and facing different forms of oppression, which if we're thinking about a more political stem of this, for anyone who's had something taken from them without their consent or been put in a position where they were forced to not be able to be their full selves, there's healing coming through around that, an ability for you to now enter into a space where you can embrace the fullness of who you are, not have to deal with certain challenges anymore or certain levels of rejection. There's a certain level of acceptance that's coming in, not just from within, but I also think that the universe will give you or show you that acceptance in your material world if you allow it. But first, there needs to be a raw and radical acceptance of self. It's a beautiful energy for healing. I think you're growing something within you that is very precious and very powerful. And I think as you begin to let go of the old fight, the fight that maybe made you feel productive or made you feel a part of the game, but didn't actually bring anything towards you that was fulfilling and that only brought you pain, as you begin to let that go and begin to grow what is actually fruitful, what is actually providing, what actually makes you feel good, and give into that more, the vision will become more clear, and eventually exactly what you're searching for is going to show up without you ever even had to have such a hand in it. Yeah, look at that. The Isle of Avalon. Healing, returning to wholeness, transformation. What you can focus on this week is healing that emotional state, healing those boundaries, healing that relationship with self. And healing around your identity. I think that what you should focus on is your healing. Everything else is going to come to you as it should, and especially when it comes to like your gifts and what's meant for you, and you know, all of the yeses that you're hoping to receive, that's gonna show up when you're not focused on it, you know. And it's not up to you when that shows up, but it's coming. So right now, focus on healing. It's a week to take care of yourself. Okay, bye.